Welcome to Hunter Beyond Time and Space Chapter 61. Take a glimpse at the scenery with you. Countdown 47 hours 59 minutes and 59 seconds. 2 days have passed. It's still the familiar prison number 18, but something seems different this time. It's no longer a cold cell and solitary confinement, but someone is waiting for his return. Yi Ma is holding a temperature-controlled lunch box with beef stew that he made himself. The 3 people across from him are looking at him as if they are waiting for him to come home. This home is a bit dim and spacious, but it is enough. Teacher, this is the chess game I brought for you. Qing Chen spread out his palm and handed the USB drive to Li Shutong. Li Shutong looked at it curiously. I haven't seen this interface before. Can you handle it, Xiao Xiao? Lin Xiao Xiao responded, no problem, the key to storage devices is the chip. Teacher, can you tell if there are any changes when I travel through time? Qing Chen asked. He used to rely on his own search for rules, but now that there are others watching, he might be able to discover other details. What you said before, that another second passed in the other world after you traveled through time, is not accurate, Li Shutong said. In my perception, there was a change in the force field when you traveled through time, and this change only lasted for an instant, maybe only 0.1 seconds, or even shorter. That is, at that moment, you had disappeared, and when you appeared again, the gold bar in your hand was gone. I see, Qing Chen thought, so it turned out that he really was traveling through time. But the problem is, where did the Qing Chen from the original world go? Did he disappear directly in the world? Qing Chen asked, what about the bundle of fire in my body? It's not time to explain it yet, Li Shutong shook his head, but the appearance of it was earlier than I expected. As they were talking, Yi Wan walked to Qing Chen's side and lifted his shirt hem. When he saw Qing Chen's abdominal muscles, he smiled, Xiao Xiao, I won again. What bet did you make about me this time? Qing Chen curiously asked. I bet with him that even if there is no one to supervise you, you will still increase your training intensity, Yi Wan said. We are all trained people, and you cannot train your abdominal muscles like this if you rest for a day. Start training with weights from tomorrow, Li Shutong said. Yi Wan, you are too thoughtful. I haven't seen such a disciplined child in so many years. Yes, boss, Yi Wan nodded. Qing Chen looked at Li Shutong. Teacher, don't you want to look at the chess game first? There's no rush to look at the chess game. Follow me now, Li Shutong said to Qing Chen. Qing Chen looked at the other person and was a bit confused. Where are we going? Li Shutong turned around and walked towards the exit. I'm taking you to see the outside world. Why take me to see the outside world? Qing Chen asked, puzzled. Li Shutong turned around and asked, aren't you curious about the outside world? Qing Chen was stunned for a moment. Of course he was curious. From the first day of his return, he saw others talking about it on the internet, how magnificent the world was. Some said the city was in the clouds. Some said the city was like a real steel forest. Some said the huge holographic projection in the sky was intoxicating. Some even said the experience of virtual life surpassed everything in the world, just like you were in a movie and experienced another legendary life. Those people traveled through the colorful city. But he himself traveled to an iron box called a prison. Qing Chen was only a 17-year-old boy. Of course, he would be curious and envious. It's just that, Qing Chen looked at Li Shutong and replied, although I am curious, I also know that it is not time to enjoy the scenery yet. Li Shutong smiled. Young people should have a young mentality. As a teacher, I can't let you fall behind others before you set out alone. Qing Chen was a little confused as he looked at the other person. Where are we going? I'm taking you to see the best scenery in City 18 tonight, Li Shutong said with a free and easy tone. The cold prison had a touch of human touch. On the side of the prison square, the thick alloy gate slowly lifted for them, the metal storm above their heads did not move, and the drones in the hive were still sleeping. Yiwon handed him a cat face mask that had been prepared early in the morning. This was prepared by the boss for you. You are not suitable to reveal your identity yet. The cat face on the mask seemed to be smiling, and the red and white stripes were strange and mysterious. Qingchen suddenly looked at Li Shudong's back. It turned out that the freedom he longed for was within reach. Midnight. City 18, District 1. Above the clouds, in the rotating restaurant on the 88th floor of the Eternal Building. The magnificent restaurant is slowly flowing with melodious cello music, but all the seats are empty. At the entrance of the restaurant, there are several people arguing with the waiter. The waiter is wearing a white shirt and a shiny black vest, with a neat bow tie on the collar. The young waiter explained politely to the customer, "Hello, starting from midnight tonight, the Sun Pavilion restaurant has been booked. Considering that we cannot provide you with high-quality service, the Sun Pavilion restaurant will give you 2 vouchers that can be used for lunch and dinner on non-Saturdays and Sundays." The arguing couple is a middle-aged man and a young woman. The man is a bit older, but the woman is still in her prime. The man said with a straight face, "I've never heard of the Sun Pavilion being booked by someone else. Are you kidding me?" The waiter smiled politely, "I'm sorry, sir. It's true. I was also surprised when I received the notice today." At this moment, they looked through the glass wall of the Sun Pavilion restaurant and saw that there was not a single customer inside. The Sun Pavilion is the highest restaurant in City 18 and can almost overlook the entire city, so it is also the most expensive. The dignitaries in City 18 are flocking to it. The middle-aged man thought for a moment, is it the Li family or the Qing family who booked it? "No, sir," the waiter told the truth. The young female companion seemed a little unhappy. When she coquettishly complained, the colorful earrings on her earlobes dazzled the man's eyes. The man thought for a moment and asked, "Is it like this? Can I know who is booking it? I also know that whoever can book it is definitely a big figure, but if I know him, maybe I can personally talk to him. The man is very smart, and he is not stupid. When he meets a difficult person, he will first ask himself if he can do what the other person does. If he can't do it, then don't look for trouble, it means that the other party is not at the same level as himself. But he also has a head and face in this city, and he still wants to use his acquaintances to find some face." The waiter went to negotiate with the manager for a while, and then came back with a black business card. There was no contact information on the business card, only 5 words, Hang Society, Li Dongzi. After seeing this business card, the man led his female companion down the elevator without saying a word. When they were in the elevator, the woman complained in a low voice, "Didn't you say you were going to say hello to someone? Why did you leave without saying a word?" The man sighed, "I'll find another place for you. We'll make up for this meal at the Sun Pavilion next time. Didn't you say last month that you knew Li Dongzi?" The woman complained. "That's 2 different things." The man was a little impatient, "He's not even in City 18 today. He booked the restaurant for someone else." At this moment, the man did think of the most critical place. But for a while, he couldn't think of who was worth Li Dongzi's effort. The other party has always been a very low-key person and rarely does such high-profile things as booking a restaurant. As they were riding the sightseeing elevator downstairs, a black warrior floating car was slowly hovering and stopped in front of them. Thank you for listening to this episode of the audio novel, The Timeless Hunter. If you enjoy this channel, click subscribe for more fascinating English audio novels. Don't forget to leave a comment, like, turn on notifications, or share on social media below so you can find this channel again. Let us know your thoughts. See you next time.